So to give my 2 cents on Tucker Carlson and some of the stuff he's been saying on about the deep state, about the bio labs in the Ukraine and the Biden blah 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 stuff. Basically, that the you want to call them conspiracy theorists, the 9/11 people, people like Alex Jones, but I don't like Alex Jones. I think he's a blowhard, and I think he's a narcissist in a way. I think he just likes being in the center of a controversy. I mean, it's not to say that the stuff he's been saying hasn't been true. I mean, of course, he completely bombed Sandy Hook, but he's been right on other things. But there are other people like James Corbett of thecorbettreport.com, Whitney Webb of Unlimited Hangout, the people who did Jason Burmis, I think his name is, who did Loose Change, and all those people who have been digging into, and these papers are in the public domain that they get their information. They're open sourced if you want to look at their stuff. So I want to talk about the stuff that Tucker Carlson's been saying, not really addressing it or anything like that, but he's saying it. And my friend texted me, said when he heard it, he's like, I can't believe Tucker Carlson is saying this on a mainstream media station, that he's being allowed to say it. And I said to him, I texted him back, do you really think Tucker Carlson would be saying this if he wasn't given permission to say it? Do you really think that this stuff would be said by him if somebody else didn't say, go ahead, say it? If that person didn't have a vested interest in seeing the Bidens collapse and the whole, whatever you want to call it, the establishment, the cabal, the evil left, it doesn't matter. No, you got to think about this. Who is Tucker Carlson good friends with? The neocons, the Bush family, that whole regime. At one point, he tried to get into the CIA. Now, who benefits by him saying all this stuff about the Bidens? The neocons. Because we're not thinking about all the... basically doing the same thing the Bidens did. Stealing American taxpayer dollars to their own bank accounts. Manufacturing wars so that they can continue to be in a continual war. It didn't matter if they won or lost the war. It just mattered that they were always having to send the military somewhere. So that the companies that these people represented, Donald Rumsfeld, Dick Cheney, the Bushes, both senior and junior, all of them, they all benefit from the continual war. And if they're diverting the attention to what the Bidens are doing, nobody's no longer paying attention to what they were doing. And probably still doing, and we just don't know it. They're all in bed together. One way or another. Maybe at this point, because Biden probably isn't coherent enough to really understand or realize what's going on, he's being thrown under the bus for all the shenanigans that have been going on for I'm going to say since the end of World War II. Smedley Butler, I think his name was, most decorated Marine general, gave a speech in 1935 about the racket of war and how people want us to be in continual war so that they can make money, and how the U.S. military is being used as a club around the world to benefit private companies and how most of the private companies are in bed with the CIA in some way or form. And it's mostly the neocons, but it's both sides of the party. I mean, this is why I become apolitical. I don't care about the politics, what happens in this country. It's all a game. It's all a shell game. It's all just posturing and, like Trump. If you vote for me in 2024, I'll fix the voting system. If you knew it was broken in 2016 when he got elected, why didn't you fix it then? He's part of the establishment too. I don't care how anti-establishment he is. People think he is. He is part of the establishment. He is part of the machine. And the best way to pull off a great deception is to do as many good things as you can. That's why corporations do charity work. It's all an image. Behind the scenes, they could be doing a bunch of nefarious stuff that they would do just for profits. I mean, look how they poisoned China. All the while, Apple and all them. All those companies. They're all in bed together. So my point in this whole little stupid rant is that Tucker Carlson is not our friend. He is not a voice of the public. He's not a voice of the little people, of the plebeians, of the proletariat. Tucker Carlson he's a fraud. He's paid to say what he says. He's paid to do what he does. He's not doing it because he cares about, the guy who works, a gazillion hours at a really dead-end job so he can feed his family. Tucker Carlson's getting millions of dollars to say the stuff he says. And that's why I don't really care what he says. I don't care if it's a shock to the nation. Because there was a time, and my same friend who sent me that text about what he's saying kind of exposed me to this underworld of conspiracy theorists, and I spent hours listening to this stuff. And I'm telling you, my whole adult life, I was always pro-Republican. Bush, you can't do anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. I hate the Democrats, blah, blah, blah. And it was the neocons and the Democrats, all of them, I should have been having problems with. And I saw this in 2008 or 2009. I was outside of my house, and a young kid who was, running for a seat in our small town meeting. And, he said he's a Democrat, and he's asking me about my policy. And I says, well, to be perfectly honest, I'm not happy with either party. I think neither one of them are doing anything for us. And he was kind of shocked by the statement. And why I saw it then and didn't do anything about it until 2019 is a failure on my part. But these people are all playing games. Quite honestly, I wouldn't trust anybody in the mainstream media. I don't care what they're saying, because they're all part of the establishment. If they weren't, they wouldn't be where they are. They wouldn't be in the positions on the TV doing what they're doing if they didn't get permission to do it. So just learn how to be a critical thinker. Learn how to think. It basically comes down to that thing from all the president's men. You know, the alleged deep throat. But what he said was true. If you want to know what's going on, follow the money. And that's all you need to do here. I mean, really, why is all our tax dollars going to Ukraine? Who cares? Ukraine's not us. They're not our citizens. They didn't pay money for those. They didn't give part of their salaries to those taxes. So why are they getting our money? Does it make any sense? Are they going to give it back? Doubt it. Whereas we are, the people who are paying the taxes are getting screwed. Are getting told, oh, well, you got to pay more taxes. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, because, you know, we mismanaged your money for so long. Yeah, you got to pay more money for things that you need so you can, you know, eat and get by. Oh, so houses cost, you know, $500,000 in a town that they really should have only cost, you know, $200,000. Sorry, that's the way it goes. You know, this stuff is just ridiculous. I just don't really care anymore about. All I care about is living my life, see if I can get some money saved up for when I retire. Because the more you look into this stuff, the more, if you took it seriously, you would be angry all the time. And I decided I can't do it anymore. I don't believe anyone. I'm going to be cynical of everything. And just do what I need to do to live my life. Because in the end, it doesn't matter what them schemes of men are. You know, all the plotting and all the trying to plot the course of events, you know, do this, do that, you know, burn down some egg farms, burn down some chicken farms, burn down some food processing plants. It doesn't matter, because I know what's going to happen at the end. And I know who's in control of it all. And these things are allowed to happen because God, that's what He designed it to be. And so my hope is not in whether some man will rise up and save this country, as some of the people think that Donald Trump is. Even a bunch of people who profess to be Christians sicken me with this stuff. I'm probably more upset about that than anything else. He's a man of God, blah, blah, blah. Trump is not a man of God. So, don't put your trust in men. Don't put your trust in some candidate who says he's going to do this and do that. Put your trust in God. Put your trust in His Son, Jesus Christ, who will come back and claim His rightful throne and all of His enemies will bow at his feet. All of them. And all will acknowledge him as the Lord of lords and King of kings. Because it is his to claim and no one else's. Thanks for listening.